First contact, the celestial convergence. The starship Horizon cut through the inky blackness of space, its sleek hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. Captain Zora Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling violet orb that dominated the view screen. Planet Nix, as they had dubbed it, was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. Sensors are picking up some unusual energy readings, Captain. Lieutenant Ravi Kapoor reported from his station, his brow furrowed in concentration. It's like nothing we've seen before. Zora nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of her mouth. This was why she had joined the Terran Exploration Corps, to push the boundaries of human knowledge and explore the unknown. Any signs of life? Inconclusive, Ravi replied, his fingers dancing across his console. The planet's atmosphere is interfering with our scans. We'll need to get closer for a more accurate reading. Very well, Zora said, her voice steady despite the excitement bubbling in her chest. Helm, take us into low orbit. Let's see what secrets Nix is hiding. As the Horizon descended through the planet's swirling atmosphere, the crew watched in awe as the landscape below came into focus. Vast purple forests stretched as far as the eye could see, interrupted only by shimmering silver rivers and towering crystalline structures that seemed to defy gravity. "It's beautiful," whispered Dr. Elara Vasquez, the ship's ganobiologist. Her green eyes were wide with wonder as she pressed her hand against the viewport. Zora couldn't help but agree. In all her years of space exploration, she had never seen a world quite like this. But as breathtaking as the view was, she knew they couldn't afford to be distracted. They had a mission to complete. "All right, team," she said, turning to face her crew. "We'll send down a landing party to investigate those structures. Dr. Vasquez, you'll lead the team. Lieutenant Kapoor, you're on sensors. I want to know the moment anything changes. The rest of you, stay alert. We don't know what we're dealing with here." As the landing party prepared to depart, Zora couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something momentous. Little did she know just how right she was. The shuttle touched down in a clearing near one of the towering crystal structures. As Dr. Vasquez and her team stepped out, the air around them seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly energy. The ground beneath their feet pulsed with a faint, rhythmic glow. "This is incredible," Elara breathed, her scanner beeping frantically as it tried to process the unfamiliar data. The entire planet seems to be alive somehow. Suddenly, a melodic hum filled the air, growing louder with each passing second. The crystal structure before them began to pulse with light, and as the team watched in astonishment, a section of it simply melted away, revealing a shimmering portal. From within the structure emerged a being unlike anything the humans had ever seen. It was tall and slender, with iridescent skin that seemed to ripple with colors. Its large, almond-shaped eyes glowed with an inner light, and when it spoke, its voice resonated in their minds rather than their ears. "Greetings, travelers," the being said, its mental voice filled with a mixture of curiosity and caution. "We are the Nixians. We have long awaited this day, the day when we would make contact with beings from beyond our world." Elara stepped forward, her training kicking in despite her awe. "We come in peace," she said, her voice steady. "We are explorers from the planet Earth, seeking to learn about new worlds and civilizations." The Nixian tilted its head, a gesture that seemed both alien and familiar at the same time. "Earth," it repeated, the word echoing in their minds. "We have seen your world in our visions, though we did not understand its significance until now. You have arrived at a crucial moment in our history, humans of Earth. The fate of Nix, and perhaps the galaxy itself, may rest in your hands." Back on the Horizon, Zara received the landing party's report with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. First contact with an alien civilization was a monumental event, one that would change the course of human history. But the Nixian's cryptic warning sent a chill down her spine. "Captain," Ravi called out, his voice urgent, "I'm detecting a massive energy spike from the planet's core. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. The readings are off the charts." Zora's mind raced. Whatever was happening on Nyx, it was clear that they had stumbled into something far bigger than a simple exploration mission. She made a decision. "Recall the landing party," she ordered, "and open a channel to Earth. We need to inform command about what we've discovered." As the crew scrambled to carry out her orders, Zara gazed at the swirling violet world below. She couldn't shake the feeling that they had crossed a threshold, one that would lead humanity into a new era of interstellar politics, advanced technology, and unfathomable dangers. Little did she know that the true test of humanity's resilience and ingenuity was yet to come. The Nyxians' plight, the unstable core of their world, and the machinations of other alien races would soon thrust Zara and her crew into a race against time, one that would determine not only the fate of Nyx, but potentially the balance of power in the entire galaxy. As the landing party returned to the horizon, bringing with them a Nyxian ambassador, Zara steeled herself for the challenges ahead. Whatever trials awaited them, she was determined to prove that humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The cosmic dance had begun, and Earth's first steps would echo across the universe for eons to come. The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. The Nyxian ambassador, who introduced itself as Zale, was brought aboard the Horizon. Its presence caused a mix of awe and unease among the crew, many of whom had never seen an alien up close before. Zara convened an emergency meeting in the ship's conference room. Around the table sat her senior staff, Dr. Vasquez, Lieutenant Kapoor, Chief Engineer Marcus Wong, and Security Chief Amelia Graves. At the head of the table, Zill's iridescent form seemed to shimmer under the room's lights. "All right," Zara began, her voice calm despite the tension in the air. "Zill, you mentioned that we've arrived at a crucial moment in your planet's history. Can you elaborate on that?" Zill's mental voice resonated in their minds, tinged with a sadness that was almost palpable. "Our world is dying," it said simply. "The core of Nyx, which has sustained our civilization for millennia, has become unstable. We have tried everything within our power to stabilize it, but nothing has worked. Without intervention, our planet will tear itself apart within a matter of weeks." The room fell silent as the humans processed this information. It was Dr. Vasquez who spoke first, her scientific curiosity overcoming her shock. "What exactly is your planet's core made of? And what's causing the instability?" Zill's form rippled, a gesture that Zara was beginning to interpret as their equivalent of a sigh. "Our core is composed of a substance we call quantum crystal. It exists simultaneously in multiple states, generating the energy that powers our world and allows us to manipulate reality in ways you might consider magical. But recently, the crystal has begun to destabilize, shifting erratically between states. If it continues, the results will be catastrophic." Chief Engineer Wong leaned forward, his eyes gleaming with interest. "Quantum crystal. That sounds like something out of science fiction. But if it's real, the applications could be revolutionary." "Indeed," Zill agreed, "which is why we have guarded its secret for so long. But now we have no choice but to seek outside help. Your arrival, at this precise moment, cannot be mere coincidence. We believe you may be the key to saving our world." Zara felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. This was far beyond the scope of their original mission, but she couldn't simply turn her back on a civilization in need. "What exactly are you asking of us, Zill?" The Nyxian's mental voice grew solemn. "We ask for your help in stabilizing our core. Your species possesses a unique combination of scientific knowledge and creative problem-solving that we believe may succeed where we have failed. In return, we offer an alliance and are willing to share some of our technological advancements with your people." Lieutenant Kapoor, ever the voice of caution, spoke up. "Captain, this is a huge decision. Shouldn't we consult with Earth Command before committing to anything?" Zara nodded. "You're right, Ravi. We'll need to inform Earth about the situation. But time is of the essence. Zill, how long do we have before the situation becomes critical?" "At the current rate of deterioration, We estimate no more than 3 of your Earth weeks, Zara replied. Zara's mind raced, weighing the potential risks and benefits. This was the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to save an alien world, forge an interstellar alliance, and gain access to advanced technology. But it was also incredibly dangerous. One wrong move could result in the destruction of Nyx and potentially the loss of her ship and crew. After a moment of tense silence, she made her decision. All right, here's what we're going to do. Bravery, send a full report to Earth Command, including all the data we've gathered on Nyx and the Nyxians. Request immediate instructions, but make it clear that we may need to act before their response arrives. She turned to the rest of her team. Dr. Vasquez, I want you and your team working with Zil to understand everything you can about Nyxian biology and the quantum crystal. Marcus, start thinking about how we might be able to stabilize an alien planet's core. Amelia, I need you to assess any potential security risks. We're dealing with technology far beyond our current understanding, and we need to be prepared for anything. As her crew nodded in agreement, Zara felt a surge of pride. This was what they had trained for, to face the unknown and push the boundaries of human achievement. She turned to Zil, her expression resolute. We'll do everything in our power to help your people, Zil. Humanity stands ready to face its challenge alongside the Nyxians. Zil's form seemed to glow brighter, its mental voice filled with gratitude. Thank you, Captain Chen. You give us hope in our darkest hour. Together, perhaps we can forge a future that neither of our species could have imagined alone. As the meeting adjourned and her crew set about their tasks, Zara remained in the conference room, gazing out at the swirling violet world of Nyx. The magnitude of what they were about to attempt was not lost on her. They stood on the precipice of a new era in human history, one that would be defined by their actions in the coming weeks. Little did Zara know that news of their discovery was already spreading across the galaxy. In the shadows of distant star systems, other alien races watched and waited, their own agendas set in motion by humanity's sudden arrival on the galactic stage. The quantum crystal of Nyx was a prize that many would kill to possess, and the humans' involvement had just made the game far more interesting. As the Horizon orbited Nyx, its crew working tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of the quantum crystal, the first ripples of their actions began to spread across the cosmos. In the days to come, Zara and her team would be tested in ways they could never have imagined, forced to prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars. The clock was ticking, the fate of an alien world hung in the balance, and the eyes of the galaxy were turning towards a small blue planet called Earth. The adventure had only just begun. The quantum enigma. As the Horizon maintained its orbit around Nyx, Captain Zara Chen found herself in the ship's advanced laboratory, surrounded by holographic displays of swirling data. Dr. Ilara Vasquez and Chief Engineer Marcus Wong worked feverishly alongside their Nyxian counterparts, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of quantum equations. This is unlike anything we've ever encountered, Ilara muttered, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and frustration. The quantum crystal doesn't just defy our understanding of physics, it rewrites it entirely. Marcus nodded, his fingers dancing across a holographic keyboard. It's as if it exists in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Every time we think we've pinned down its properties, it shifts into something new. Zara watched as the simulation of Nyx's core pulsed on the main screen, its erratic behavior a stark reminder of the ticking clock they faced. We need a breakthrough, and we need it soon, she said, her voice tight with tension. What about the Nyxian archives? Have they yielded any clues? As if on cue, Lieutenant Ravi Kapoor burst into the lab, his dark eyes wild with excitement. Captain, you're not going to believe this, he said breathlessly. We've decrypted part of the ancient Nyxian texts, and, well, you need to see this for yourself. The team huddled around Ravi's tablet, their faces bathed in the soft blue light of the screen. As they read, a hush fell over the room, broken only by the occasional gasp of disbelief. This can't be right, Ilara whispered, her voice trembling. If these translations are accurate, then the Nyxians, they're not native to this planet at all. Zerl, who had been silently observing from the corner, stepped forward. Its iridescent form seemed to ripple with emotion. "You have uncovered our most closely guarded secret," it said, its mental voice heavy with the weight of millennia. "We are indeed not of this world. Our ancestors were explorers, much like yourselves, who discovered Nyx eons ago." The humans exchanged shocked glances as Zil continued. The quantum crystal was already here, a natural phenomenon that defied explanation. Our ancestors learned to harness its power, building our civilization around it. But in doing so, they inadvertently set in motion the very instability that now threatens to destroy us all. Zara's mind raced with the implications. So the crystal's deterioration, it's not a natural process. Zil's form pulsed with what could only be described as regret. "No, our use of the crystal's power has been slowly destabilizing it for generations. We believed we had millennia to find a solution, but our calculations were flawed. Now we stand on the brink of annihilation." A tense silence fell over the lab as the team grappled with this revelation. It was Marcus who finally broke it, his voice filled with a mix of awe and determination. "This changes everything. If the crystal's instability is caused by external factors, then maybe, just maybe, we can reverse the process." Ilara nodded enthusiastically, already pulling up new simulations on her holographic display. "We need to approach this from a completely different angle. Instead of trying to stabilize the crystal directly, we need to find a way to undo millennia of damage." As the scientists dove back into their work with renewed vigor, Zara felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned to find Amelia Graves, her security chief, wearing an expression of grave concern. "Captain, we've got another problem," Amelia said in a low voice, guiding Zara to a quiet corner of the lab. "Our long-range sensors have picked up multiple unidentified vessels entering the system. They're still days away, but their trajectory suggests they're heading straight for Nyx." Zara's blood ran cold. "Have they responded to our hails?" Amelia shook her head. "No, and that's not the worst of it. We've intercepted some of their communications. Captain, they're not just curious explorers. They're coming for the quantum crystal." The realization hit Zara like a physical blow. News of their discovery had spread faster than she could have imagined, and now the vultures were circling. The race to save Nyx had just become infinitely more complicated. "How long do we have?" Zara asked, her mind already formulating plans and contingencies. "At their current speed, 4 days at most," Amelia replied grimly. Zara nodded, her jaw set with determination. "Then we have 4 days to save this planet and secure humanity's place in the galactic community. Failure is not an option." As she turned back to her team, Zara felt the weight of responsibility settle even more heavily on her shoulders. They weren't just fighting against time and the laws of physics anymore. They were in a race against unknown alien forces, each with their own agenda. "Listen up, everyone," Zara called out, her voice cutting through the buzz of activity in the lab. "The situation has just become a lot more complicated. We have potential hostile forces inbound, ETA 4 days. Whatever solution we come up with, it needs to be ready by then." The team's expressions ranged from shock to determination as they absorbed this new information. Zil's form rippled with what Zara had come to recognize as distress. "This is our worst fear realized," the Nyxian said, its mental voice tinged with despair. "If these outsiders get their hands on the quantum crystal, the consequences could be catastrophic on a galactic scale." Marcus stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with the light of inspiration. "Captain, I think I might have an idea. It's risky, and it goes against everything we know about physics, but at this point, I think it might be our only shot." All eyes turned to the chief engineer as he pulled up a complex holographic model. "What if, instead of trying to stabilize the crystal, we intentionally push it further out of balance?" Gasps and murmurs of disbelief filled the room, but Marcus pressed on. "Hear me out. The crystal exists in multiple quantum states simultaneously, right? What if we could force it into a state of quantum superposition on a massive scale? Ilara's eyes widened as she caught on to Marcus's train of thought. A planet-wide Schrodinger's cat scenario. That's insane. Brilliant, but insane. Zara looked between her two senior officers, a mix of hope and trepidation building in her chest. Explain it to me in simple terms. What exactly are you proposing? Marcus took a deep breath. We use the Horizon's advanced quantum engines to create a massive entanglement field around Nyx. In theory, this would force the entire planet, including the crystal core, into a state of quantum superposition. It would exist in both a stable and unstable state simultaneously. But how does that solve our problem? Amelia asked, her brow furrowed in confusion. Ilara jumped in, her excitement palpable. Because in that state, we might be able to influence which reality becomes dominant. If we can maintain the field long enough and input the right quantum algorithms, we could theoretically guide the crystal back to a stable configuration. Zill's form pulsed with a mix of hope and fear. Such a thing has never been attempted on this scale. The risks are enormous, Zara finished, her voice grave. If it goes wrong, we could end up destroying the very planet we're trying to save. Not to mention the strain it would put on the Horizon. We'd be pushing our systems far beyond their intended limits. A heavy silence fell over the room as the weight of the decision pressed down on them all. They were contemplating an act that would rewrite the laws of physics as they knew them, with the fate of an entire civilization hanging in the balance. Zara closed her eyes, taking a moment to center herself. When she opened them again, they burned with fierce determination. We don't have the luxury of playing it safe. Begin the preparations. I want a full simulation of the process, including all potential outcomes, good and bad. As the teens sprang into action, Zara turned to Zerl. I need you to prepare your people. If this works, they may experience... Well, I'm not sure anyone knows what a planet-wide quantum superposition would feel like. They need to be ready for anything. Zill bowed its head in acknowledgement, its mental voice filled with a mix of gratitude and awe. You risk everything to save a people not your own. Whatever the outcome, know that the Nyxians will forever remember the courage of humanity. As Zill departed to inform its people, Zara turned her gaze to the viewport, where the swirling violet world of Nyx hung suspended in the void. In less than 4 days, that view would either be the site of humanity's greatest triumph or its most devastating failure. The next few days were a blur of feverish activity. The Horizon's quantum engines were pushed to their limits as Marcus and his engineering team worked around the clock to modify them for their audacious plan. Ilara and her science team collaborated with the Nyxians, devising the intricate quantum algorithms that would guide the crystal's restructuring. All the while, the unknown alien vessels drew ever closer, their intentions a looming threat that spurred the crew to even greater efforts. As the deadline approached, Zara found herself standing on the bridge, surrounded by her senior staff. The viewscreen showed a real-time simulation of what they were about to attempt. All systems are ready, Captain, Marcus reported, his voice tight with tension. The quantum entanglement field is primed and awaiting your command. Zara took a deep breath, acutely aware that the next words out of her mouth would go down in history, one way or another. Lieutenant Kapoor, open a channel to all Nyxian settlements. As Revi complied, Zara straightened her uniform and faced the camera. People of Nyx, this is Captain Zara Chen of the Terran starship Horizon. In a few moments, we will attempt a procedure that has never before been tried in the history of the known universe. I cannot guarantee its success, nor can I promise that there won't be unforeseen consequences. She paused, letting her words sink in. What I can promise you is this: every member of my crew, working alongside your own brilliant scientists, has poured their heart and soul into this effort. We stand with you, united in our determination to preserve your world and the unique wonders it holds. Zara's voice grew stronger, filled with the unshakable resolve that had defined humanity's journey to the stars. To the unknown vessels approaching this system, know this: Nyx is under the protection of Earth and its people. We will not allow its treasures to be plundered, nor its inhabitants to be enslaved. Turn back now, or bear witness to the lengths we will go to defend those who cannot defend themselves. With a nod to Bravery, the transmission ended. Zara turned to face her crew, her eyes blazing with determination. This is it, people. Everything we've worked for comes down to the next few minutes. Whatever happens, I want you to know that I couldn't be prouder of this crew. You've all proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that humanity deserves its place among the stars. She took one last look at the swirling violet world on the view screen, sent up a silent prayer to whatever cosmic forces might be listening, and gave the order that would echo through the annals of history. Mr. Wong, initiate the quantum entanglement field. Let's rewrite the laws of physics. She gestured to the swirling violet world of Nyx behind them. We've done what your Concordat could not, or would not. We've saved a world, preserved a unique civilization, and unlocked secrets of the universe that will benefit all species. Ayla's form pulsed erratically, but Zara pressed on. If the quantum crystal is as dangerous as you claim, then perhaps what it needs isn't a distant guardian, but a committed protector. The Nyxians have lived in harmony with it for millennia. With Earth's help, they can continue to do so, ensuring its power is never misused. The energy being seemed to consider her words. You propose an audacious alliance, human. What guarantee can you offer that your species won't succumb to the temptation of such power? Zara smiled, a plan forming in her mind. No guarantee, Xyla. Only a challenge. You claim to be beings of higher understanding. Prove it. Work with us, not against us. Let's forge a new kind of interstellar cooperation, one that bridges the gap between ancient cosmic forces and emerging civilizations. The bridge fell silent as Xyla's form pulsed and shifted, considering Zara's proposal. The fate of Nyx, Earth, and perhaps the entire galaxy hung in the balance. Finally, the energy being spoke. Your words intrigue us, Captain Chen. Perhaps there is more to your species than we initially perceived. We propose a test, a cosmic chess match, if you will. Zara raised an eyebrow. Chess. You know of Earth fames. Ayla's form shimmered with what might have been amusement. We know of many things, Captain. This chess is but a simplified version of the cosmic game we play. Accept our challenge, prove your species' worth, and we may consider your proposal. Zara glanced at her crew, seeing a mix of determination and apprehension on their faces. This was far beyond anything they had trained for, but wasn't that the essence of exploration? To face the unknown and rise to its challenges. We accept, Zara declared, her voice unwavering. Name your terms. Ayla's form expanded, filling the view screen. The game board shall be the Nyx system itself. Your pieces, your ship, your crew, and the Nyxians you've sworn to protect. Our pieces, cosmic forces beyond your current understanding. The objective: maintain the stability of the quantum crystal while navigating a series of cosmic anomalies we shall introduce. The energy being paused, allowing the gravity of the situation to sink in. You will have 3 solar rotations. Succeed, and we shall recognize humanity and the Nyxians as rightful custodians of the quantum crystal. Fail, and you'll relinquish all claim to Nyx and its treasures. Do you accept these terms, Captain Chen of Earth? Zara stood tall, feeling the weight of not just her crew, but all of humanity on her shoulders. This was the moment that would define Earth's place in the cosmic order. With unwavering resolve, she gave her answer. We accept, Exhaler of the Cosmic Concordat. Let the game begin. As soon as the words left her lips, the space around Nyx erupted into a dazzling display of cosmic phenomena. Wormholes shimmered into existence, temporal rifts tore through the fabric of space-time, and gravitational anomalies warped the very laws of physics. Zara turned to her crew, her eyes blazing with determination. All right, people, this is what we've trained for. to face the unknown and come out on top. Bravery, start mapping those anomalies. Elara, I need you to work with the Nixians to monitor the quantum crystal's stability. Marcus, get creative with our engines. We're going to need maneuvers nobody's ever dreamed of before. As her crew sprang into action, Zara allowed herself a small smile. This was humanity's chance to prove itself on a cosmic scale, and she had no intention of letting this opportunity slip away. The first challenge presented itself almost immediately. A massive temporal rift opened dangerously close to Nyx, threatening to throw the planet's chronology into chaos. Captain, Bravery called out, his fingers flying over his console. If that rift gets any closer, it could desynchronize Nyx from the rest of the universe. The quantum crystal's stability would be compromised. Zora's mind raced. This wasn't just about raw power or advanced technology. The Cosmic Concordat was testing their problem-solving skills, their ability to think on a cosmic scale. Marcus, she called out, can we use the Horizon's quantum engines to create a localized time dilation field? The chief engineer's eyes lit up with understanding. A temporal bubble around Nyx? It's never been done before, but in theory, yes, I think we can. Do it, Zora commanded. Elara, work with the Nyxians. We need to synchronize the crystal's quantum fluctuations with our temporal field. As the crew worked feverishly to implement their daring plan, Zora couldn't help but feel a sense of exhilaration. This was exploration and innovation at its finest, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The Horizon's engines rolled to life, projecting a shimmering field around Nyx. For a heart-stopping moment, it seemed as though the temporal rift would overwhelm their defenses. But then, miraculously, the rift began to warp around the bubble, leaving Nyx untouched in its protective cocoon. It's working, Elara exclaimed, her voice filled with awe. The quantum crystal is stabilizing. We've done it, Captain. But their celebration was short-lived. No sooner had they resolved one crisis than another loomed. A cascade of miniature black holes began to form throughout the system, their gravitational pull threatening to tear Nyx apart. Gravitational tethers, Zara muttered, an idea forming. Marcus, can we repurpose our tractor beams to create a web of gravitational tethers around the planet? The chief engineer nodded enthusiastically. If we calibrate them to the exact frequency of the quantum crystal's resonance, we might be able to use the black holes to our advantage. As the crew raced to implement their plan, Zara couldn't help but marvel at the cosmic chessboard they found themselves on. Each move, each solution, was a step towards proving humanity's worth on a galactic scale. The gravitational web sprang to life, a gossamer network of energy connecting Nyx to the very black holes that threatened it. Instead of tearing the planet apart, the gravitational forces were now working in harmony, actually stabilizing the quantum crystal further. Kylo's voice echoed through the bridge, a hint of surprise in its cosmic tone. Impressive, humans. You demonstrate a creativity we did not anticipate, but the game is far from over. As if to emphasize the point, a new challenge manifested, a swarm of quantum-entangled particles, threatening to disrupt the very atomic structure of Nyx and its inhabitants. Zara squared her shoulders, ready to face whatever the cosmos threw at them next. This wasn't just a game anymore. It was a fight for humanity's future among the stars, a chance to prove that Earth deserved a seat at the cosmic table. "All right, team," she said, her voice filled with unwavering determination. "Let's show the universe what humanity is truly capable of." As the Horizon and its crew continued to face challenge after mind-bending challenge, their actions rippled across the galaxy. On distant worlds, other civilizations watched in awe as a young species from a small blue planet stood toe-to-toe with cosmic forces. The game of quantum chess had only just begun, and the stakes couldn't be higher. But with each innovative solution, each impossible maneuver, Captain Zora Chen and her crew were writing a new chapter in the cosmic story, one where humanity's ingenuity and determination would echo across the stars for eons to come. The Quantum Nexus Gambit. As the cosmic chess match entered its final phase, the Nix system had become a kaleidoscope of impossibilities. Reality itself seemed to bend and twist around the horizon, testing the limits of human ingenuity and resilience. Captain Zora Chen stood at the center of the bridge, her uniform scuffed and her hair disheveled, but her eyes blazing with unrelenting determination. The past 2 solar rotations had pushed her crew to their absolute limits, forcing them to rewrite the laws of physics on the fly. Status report, Zora commanded, her voice hoarse from hours of issuing rapid-fire orders. Ravi's fingers danced across his console, his normally immaculate appearance now haggard from lack of sleep. The quantum entanglement swarm is intensifying, Captain. It's creating micro-universes throughout the system. If we don't find a way to stabilize them, they could collapse and take Nix with them. Elara chimed in, her eyes red-rimmed but alert. The Nixians are reporting strange phenomena planetside. People are experiencing temporal echoes, living moments from their past and future simultaneously. The quantum crystal is reaching critical resonance. Marcus, his uniform stained with coolant from emergency repairs, shook his head in disbelief. Our engines are redlining, Captain. I'm not sure how much more they can take. Zora took a deep breath, centering herself. They had overcome impossible odds before, but this was on another level entirely. The cosmic concordat had escalated their game to heights she could never have imagined. Suddenly, an idea struck her, so audacious, so utterly insane, that it just might work. What if, she began slowly, her mind racing ahead of her words, we stop trying to contain these phenomena and instead harmonize with them? Her crew stared at her, a mixture of confusion and dawning realization on their faces. Think about it, Zora continued, her excitement building. We've been treating each challenge as a separate problem, but what if they're all connected? What if the quantum crystal, the micro-universes, the temporal echoes, what if they're all part of a larger cosmic symphony? Elara's eyes widened. A quantum nexus. Captain, are you suggesting we try to interface directly with the fundamental fabric of reality? Zora finished, a fierce grin spreading across her face. That's exactly what I'm suggesting. Marcus let out a low whistle. To do that, we'd need to reconfigure the Horizon's systems in ways they were never designed for. We'd be risking a total containment breach of our warp core. And our own consciousnesses, Ravi added, his voice hushed with awe and fear. To interface with a quantum nexus, our minds might not survive the experience intact. Zora looked at each of her senior officers in turn, seeing the same mix of terror and exhilaration she felt mirrored in their eyes. I won't order anyone to take this risk. This is beyond the call of duty. But if we succeed, we'll have proven beyond any doubt that humanity belongs among the cosmic powers. Without hesitation, her crew stood at attention. Elara spoke for all of them. We're with you, Captain, to whatever end. Zora nodded, feeling a surge of pride. Then let's make history. Marcus, begin the warp core reconfiguration. Elara, work with the Nixians to align the quantum crystal's resonance with our ship's systems. Ravi, I need you to plot a course that will take us through the heart of every anomaly in the system. As her crew sprang into action, Zora opened a channel to the Nixian leaders and quickly explained her plan. Their mental voices resonated with a mixture of fear and hope as they agreed to participate in this cosmic gambit. Hours passed in a blur of frantic preparation. The Horizon's systems were pushed far beyond their design limits, jury-rigged modifications turning the ship into a quantum tuning fork of unprecedented power. Finally, everything was ready. The Horizon hung at the edge of the Nix system, poised to dive into a maelstrom of cosmic forces that no human had ever dared to challenge. Zora took her place at the helm, her hands hovering over the controls. This is Captain Zora Chen of the Earth ship Horizon, she broadcast, her voice steady despite the enormous pressure. To the cosmic concordat, the people of Nix, and all who are witnessing this moment, we are about to attempt something never before conceived. May our actions here today forge a new understanding between all sentient beings in the cosmos. With that, she engaged the engines. The horizon shot forward, plunging into a whirlwind of quantum anomalies. Reality itself seemed to fracture around them as they passed through temporal rifts, narrowly avoided collapse into singularities, and skimmed the edges of newborn universes. On the bridge, Zara and her crew focused intensely, their minds interfacing directly with the ship's systems. They were no longer merely pilots and scientists. They had become living conduits for the fundamental forces of the universe. Elara's voice, strained with the effort of maintaining her sense of self, called out, "Quantum resonance approaching critical threshold." Warp core stability at 12% and falling, Marcus gritted out, his consciousness stretched across multiple realities. Ravi, his eyes glowing with unearthly energy, managed to gasp, "Collision with quantum filament imminent, now." In that moment, as the horizon struck the heart of the quantum nexus, everything changed. The bridge, the ship, even their physical forms seemed to dissolve. Zara felt her consciousness expand beyond the confines of her body, beyond the limits of space and time. She was aware of her crew, of the Nixians, of every particle in the system, all interconnected, all part of a vast cosmic dance. In this state of pure awareness, Zara understood. The quantum crystal, the challenges they have faced, it was all a test, not just of their technology or problem-solving skills, but of their capacity to evolve, to transcend their physical limitations and glimpse the true nature of the universe. With this realization came clarity. Zara focused her expanded consciousness, feeling her crew, and the Nixians join with her. Together, they reached out to the quantum forces swirling around them, not seeking to control, but to harmonize. The effect was immediate and awe-inspiring. The micro-universes stabilized, temporal rifts sealed themselves, and the quantum crystal pulsed with newfound strength and stability. The entire Nix system seemed to sing with cosmic harmony. Slowly, gradually, Zara felt herself returning to her physical form. The bridge of the horizon swam back into focus, her crew looking as dazed and transformed as she felt. Before them on the view screen, Salah's energy form pulsed with what could only be described as astonishment. "Impossible," the cosmic being breathed. "You have done more than survive our tests, Captain Chen. You have transcended them. In all our ends of existence, we have never witnessed such potential." Zara stood on shaky legs, her body feeling strange and new after her cosmic journey. "Then you understand now," she said, her voice resonating with newfound power and wisdom. "Humanity, the Nixians, we're ready to take our place in the cosmic order. Not as conquerors or subjects, but as partners in safeguarding the wonders of the universe." Khayla's form shimmered with what might have been respect. "You have proven yourselves worthy humans. The Cosmic Concordat recognizes Earth and Nix as full members of the galactic community. The quantum crystal shall remain under your joint protection." As the energy being faded from view, Zara turned to her crew. They stood tall, forever changed by their experience, ready to guide humanity into a new era of cosmic exploration and understanding. "Well done, everyone," Zara said, a smile spreading across her face. "Let's go home. We have one hell of a story to tell." As the horizon set a course for Earth, the crew knew that this was just the beginning. They had not only secured humanity's place among the stars, but had also unlocked potential within themselves that would reshape the very future of their species. The cosmic chess match was over, but the true adventure was just beginning. Humanity, with Captain Zara Chen and the crew of the Horizon leading the way, was ready to explore the infinite wonders of the quantum cosmos. The quantum renaissance. As the Horizon approached Earth, the magnitude of their accomplishment began to sink in. Captain Zara Chen stood at the viewport, watching her home planet grow larger, a swirling blue marble suspended in the vast cosmic ocean. But the Earth she was returning to would never be the same, and neither would humanity. "Captain," Ravi called out, his voice tinged with awe, "you need to see this." Zara turned to the main view screen, her breath catching in her throat. The space around Earth was alive with activity. Hundreds of ships from every corner of the galaxy hovered in orbit, a dazzling array of designs and technologies never before seen by human eyes. "It appears news of our performance has spread quickly," Elara remarked, her eyes wide with wonder. Zara nodded, a mix of pride and trepidation swelling in her chest. "Open a channel to Earth Command. They need to be prepared for what's coming." As Ravi complied, the face of Admiral Zhang appeared on screen, his usually stoic expression replaced by one of barely contained excitement. "Captain Chen, your timing is impeccable. We've been inundated with requests for diplomatic talks from species we didn't even know existed. The UN is in an uproar, and every scientist on the planet is clamoring for details of your encounter with the cosmic concordat." Zara couldn't help but smile. "Admiral, I hope you're ready for a quantum leap in human evolution. What we've experienced, it's going to change everything." Over the next few weeks, Earth became the center of a galactic renaissance. The crew of the Horizon, along with their Nixian allies, found themselves at the heart of a scientific and cultural revolution. Elara led a team of human and alien scientists in unlocking the secrets of quantum harmonics, paving the way for technologies that bordered on the miraculous. Diseases once thought incurable were wiped out. Clean, limitless energy became a reality for every nation on Earth. Marcus collaborated with engineers from a dozen different species, revolutionizing space travel. The principles they had used to navigate the quantum anomalies were adapted into a new form of propulsion, allowing ships to traverse vast cosmic distances in the blink of an eye. Ravi's expanded consciousness proved invaluable in the field of interspecies communication. He developed a universal translation matrix that went beyond mere words, allowing for the exchange of complex ideas and emotions across vastly different forms of sentience. But it was Zora who faced the greatest challenge of all. As Earth's premier representative to the galactic community, she found herself navigating a political landscape more complex than anything she had encountered in space. "The quantum crystal's power must be shared equally among all species," insisted the ambassador from the Arcturian collective, his holographic form shimmering with indignation. "Absolutely not," countered the Rigelian delegate, her crystalline structure pulsing with barely contained anger. "Earth and Nyx have proven themselves worthy guardians. We cannot risk such power falling into the wrong hands." Zara raised her hand, silencing the bickering delegates. The quantum insight she had gained during their cosmic chess match allowed her to see the connections between their arguments, the underlying fears and hopes that drove each species. "Friends, colleagues, esteemed representatives of the galaxy," she began, her voice resonating with newfound authority. "What we face is not a question of who controls the quantum crystal, but how we can use its gifts to elevate all sentient life." She gestured to a holographic display of the known universe, pinpointing areas of conflict, resource scarcity, and scientific stagnation. "The crystal has shown us the interconnectedness of all things. We are not separate species competing for dominance, but part of a greater cosmic tapestry." As she spoke, Zara felt a familiar sensation, the expansion of consciousness she had experienced in the quantum nexus. But this time she wasn't alone. She could sense the minds of every being in the room joining with hers, experiencing the universe as she did. "This is what we can achieve together," Zara said, her words echoing not just in the chamber, but in the minds and hearts of every delegate. "A true galactic community, united in our diversity, stronger for our differences." The effect was profound. Age-old rivalries dissolved, replaced by a sense of shared purpose. Species that had been on the brink of war now saw each other as essential parts of a greater whole. As the galactic delegates left the chamber, forever changed by the experience, Admiral Zhang approached Zara, shaking his head in amazement. "I've been in Starfleet for 30 years, Captain, and I've never seen anything like that. You may have just ushered in a new era of peace for the entire galaxy." Zara smiled, feeling the weight of her new role settling comfortably on her shoulders. "This is just the beginning, Admiral. Humanity has taken its first steps into a larger universe, and we have so much more to learn. As if to emphasize her point, a shimmering portal opened in the center of the chamber. Solar, the energy being of the cosmic concordat, emerged, its form even more awe-inspiring in the flesh than it had been over a view screen. Captain Chen, Sala's voice resonated through the room. You continue to exceed our expectations. The harmony you have fostered here, it is unprecedented in cosmic history. Zara bowed her head in respect. We simply applied the lessons we learned during your tests, Sala. The true challenge lies ahead, maintaining this harmony as we explore the quantum cosmos together. Pexala's form pulsed with what might have been approval. Indeed, and that is why we have come. The cosmic concordat extends an invitation to Earth, to Nyx, and to all species represented here. Join us in the quantum crucible. A hushed awe fell over the assembled delegates. The quantum crucible, a mythical realm where the fundamental forces of the universe could be studied and manipulated. It was a place of legend, spoken of in whispers by the most advanced civilizations. Zara felt a familiar thrill of excitement coursing through her veins. This was why she had joined Starfleet, why humanity had looked to the stars for so long. The chance to explore, to discover, to push the boundaries of what was possible. She turned to Admiral Zhang, seeing the same mix of terror and exhilaration in his eyes that she had seen in her crew before their quantum gambit. "Well, Admiral," she said with a grin, "shall we take another leap?" Zhang laughed, shaking his head in disbelief. "Captain Chen, I have a feeling that with you leading the way, humanity's leaps are going to become legendary." As word of the invitation spread, a wave of excitement swept across Earth. Humanity stood on the brink of its greatest adventure yet, not just exploring the physical universe, but delving into the very fabric of reality itself. The horizon now upgraded with technology beyond anything its designers could have dreamed, prepared for its next mission. Zara stood on the bridge, her crew at their stations, ready to face whatever wonders and challenges the quantum crucible held. "All systems ready, Captain," Marcus reported, his fingers dancing over controls that looked more like abstract art than traditional interfaces. Ilara nodded from her station, her eyes gleaming with the thrill of scientific discovery. "Quantum harmonics aligned and stable. We're ready to make the jump." Ravi grinned, his consciousness already reaching out to the strange new realm they were about to enter. "Course laid in, Captain. The crucible awaits." Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. This was more than just another mission. It was humanity's first step into a realm of infinite possibilities, where the line between science and magic blurred into irrelevance. "Well then," she said, her voice filled with determination and wonder, "let's see what's out there. Engage quantum drive." As the horizon vanished in a dazzling display of multidimensional energy, Earth watched in awe. The quantum renaissance had begun, and humanity, led by Captain Zara Chen and her intrepid crew, was at the forefront of a new age of cosmic exploration and understanding. The universe, in all its infinite wonder, awaited, and humanity was finally ready to embrace its destiny among the stars.